Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel once again. Today we're here for another movie reaction here with Paprika by Satoshi Kon. So if it's your first time here watching one of my videos on the channel, hello, hi, I react to anime, and I like to have a bit of a look, a little bit of analysis as I like to call it, after the fact, so please stick around after watching the movie here proper. But yeah, I'm sitting down here, it's a Sunday, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to watch a film. On the channel in the past, I have already reacted to both Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress, so they're both there if you want to watch those first. I was kind of going in order, so I did Perfect Blue first, then Millennium Actress, but I'm skipping Tokyo Godfathers. It's currently March, and it's hot as hell. I don't feel like that's the correct atmosphere to be watching that film. Potentially we'll roll back around to that one around Christmas time. That seems about a little bit more appropriate, which only leaves one Satoshi Kon feature to go, which would be Paprika. Vintage 2006, I believe, yeah, it is. And unfortunately, the last film that Satoshi Kon did before his passing. And of course, over here, I do have my favorite website in the world, once again, OBS, get out of my face. It's ANN, and it's Paprika. A lot of this stuff is pretty self-explanatory. I think it's not one that I really want to dive too much further into, really. Like, I mean, yeah, that's all the stuff that Satoshi Kon's done. I've done this twice already, you know. I never did notice the JoJo thing though. Anyway, that's the 90s OVA, I think, for part 3. Yeah, weird. Okay, I never knew that. But yeah, definitely rolling with similar to last week, this kind of crowd, which is a little bit interesting. I didn't know that either. Maybe I don't know everything. There you go. For the record, I did Ghost in the Shell last week and thought it was quite swell as well, so check that one out if you would like to. Interesting one here is Seishi Minakami, who I believe did some writing for this, and it is also a manga adaptation, which I didn't know going in. See, I did the screenplay here, of course. Seems to be a lot of like a Madhouse guy from this kind of stuff, like, you know, and where was the other one? This one. That's a Yuasa joint, I believe. Yeah, okay, now I'm getting confused because now it says Paprika novel. Hang on, which came in 93. Probably shouldn't be looking at that up the top either. And then there's the manga in 94. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. And then there's Paprika the Dream Child, which is 2007. Okay, so that's after the fact. Okay, it's novel and a manga. So novel first, I believe. But this guy's super interesting too. Who's this? Yasutaka Tsui. I like Girl Who Got Through Time, the Hosoda film, of course. And this is a really weird pick. I wouldn't have picked that he wrote that as well. That's a funny show. It's about some rich guy that uses money to solve all these problems. It's more of a romp than anything. Definitely not similar to what I'm going to expect to see from Paprika. Nobutaka Ike here working on the art direction, obviously working with Hosoda a lot here as well on both Belle and Scarlet, the new one. But I guess I'm bearing the lead here. Tokyo Godfathers and Paprika and Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress. He did them all. So he's the right-hand man. Similar case here for Masashi Ando, where we have a lot of Ghibli, actually, now that I'm looking at it as well as Tokyo Godfathers and Paranoia Agent and Paprika and not Millennium Actress. Hold on. But at least a lot of the recent Con stuff as well. Also working on Your Name, which is a bit of an interesting one too. Yeah, very prominent in the theatrical animation world, in the animation department. And it's a pretty similar deal for a lot of the rest of the staff here. One other one I wanted to check quickly was maybe music. Yeah, okay, there's some difference. Yeah, the Millennium Actress music, I remember it being quite good. Same person as the Berserk soundtrack, which I know has that one meme song in it, so that's all I know about it. I haven't seen or done anything Berserk, actually. But yeah, they're all kind of the Satoshi Kon gang. They're all working together. It's good stuff. Outside of that, I know it's Madhouse again, which doesn't really tell you much because Madhouse did a lot of things in the 2000s that are very varied and awesome and great and stuff, so good for them. I also just love how confusing all the credits are for anime sometimes. Like, in the credits, like, literally on the screen, you'll see, like, Gainax and, like, you know, Production IG and all these, like, other studios, and it's like, well, how incestuous is all this stuff? Really makes you think sometimes. I guess I'm bearing the lead here as well because I don't know what this is about, and I kind of want to keep it that way. Like, genuinely. Like, last week I said, oh, I don't know what Ghost in the Shell is about, but I kind of knew what to expect. This one, not at all. I have this. This is my one thing that I'm giving myself. This is Paprika Lady that I see online sometimes. It seems pretty all-encompassing. Pretty overwhelming. We must remember Millennium Actress. During that film, we go through a bunch of different time periods and different set pieces through these different theatrical works that, you know, we're essentially going through the life of this actress, right? And it's kind of half telling a meta story, half telling, yeah, you guys, if you've seen it, it's great. Maybe we're doing something similar structurally here. We'll go through a bunch of, you know, like set pieces and vignettes and whatnot that, you know, I see, you know, the Statue of Liberty. I see knights. I see, you know, like samurai shogun type guys. I see whoever the fuck that is down there in the corner with the clown. Like there's plenty of shit there. This would tell me that we're going to be pretty varied. Now, what do I read this face as? Intensity, questioning, confusion, like almost like a deja vu kind of feeling, like something's wrong and I'm not quite sure how to quantify it. Maybe that's, yeah, it's just me reading the face, really. But I said it's enough dilly-dallying. I gotta watch this thing, of course, but not without thanking my patrons first and foremost. They're the ones that support the channel and make everything go. But if you do like what I do here, there should be another video, another movie, potentially not next week, but the week after. It's a pretty good one. Again, I've got a good one lined up. After that, we'll go back to the TV anime stuff in this kind of slot, I believe. If not manga, I'm still, you know, making my mind there. But if you're also into Ping Pong the animation at the moment, as well as Musume, they're both on the channel as well, and you can get them 1 week early. A very big thank you to Sean, Ace Lightning, Ada, Akamansa, Alchemy, Astafif, Uvtafif, Bananarama Hamadama-sama, BD422, Botero, Brett Jones, Caitlin, Capella, Chibaribi, Copley, Cure Dynamic, Sinarin, Dakota, Dapper Dwarf, Diark Lord, Doke Hyo, Ed, Eric Algelius, Fancy Question Mark, Fried Rice, Fruit, Frozen Fox, Gloria Tenebrae, Glyke, Hayato138641, Hans Peter, Hibiki Tachibana, I Bailey, Ika, Intaz Students, Iria, J Campion, Yaku Yavanen, Jacob R, Jeff Solis, Joran, Kazogtha, Clem, Lexi, Lick H, Lucas Carulius, Lou, Lupe Ferrugia, Maddock the Doppelganger, Master Detective, Matthew Bratcher, Matthew Mortlock, Mickey Babbers, Miru, Mistake Yo Chen, Molly Weinberger, Mr. Maniacs, Murmarine, Nature Without Man, Pencil Shop 333, Platinum Fighter, Pike, St. Lily, Sam1373, Samuel Guerrero, SGM Janus, Shiny Haxorus, Skeleton, Tentacle Member, Terrence, Tobias Dal Christensen, Waifu Overdose Without a Net, Zin, Binshi, Jummy Boo, Kelvin, Ronlad BNK, Hamiyaz, and Luigi Mario 3939. Thank you very much for giving me money. I enjoy the money. And yeah, let's watch this thing. I don't know what's gonna happen. That's part of the journey. That's why it's a blind reaction. It's awesome. Yeah, I'll get that up now. And there we have it. Paprika from 2006 up there ready to go. I've got 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 32 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly with your own copy. Let's actually go over here for 1 second. I want to explain my position. That button. There we go. So, I went to CDEX. I said, what's the best one? They said, experimental. And so I downloaded the experimental one. So if you go to Nya, it's that one. It's pretty recent, all things considered, considering the age of the film. If you want to know the specific subtitle track, full subtitles, Bores. Bores. Like those things between your legs. Something like that. I'm also doing the Japanese audio, of course. I'm doing the sub, not the dub. I think last week I went official for Ghost in the Shell. I didn't like it, so now I'm just going to go with whatever the website says. I think that's the best way to do this thing. Either way, you don't need to think about that at all, because there's a picture-in-picture version in the description below if you would like to use it. Either way, let's give this thing a 3, 2, 1 and jump in. Radio, 3, 2, 1, go. Hello. Sony releasing, that's a bad sign, releasing international. So yeah, it said this was the Blu-ray, so I'm imagining this is what is on the Blu-ray, if that makes any sense. Hello. Like a circus. I want 1 million clowns to come out of the car. Or one big clown. That'll do too. It's the greatest showtime, everybody. The greatest showman or something. There's some Satoshi Kon looking people. Ooh. Interesting. Safe. What are we doing? Are we doing a hit on this guy? Whoa! No, this guy controls reality or something. This is fucked up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sure. Did I say it's going to be similar to Millennium Actress? Yeah. I frickin' love movies. That character animation was pretty tight. Whoa, no, he's been shot. Or somebody's been shot. What is this, the fucking Shining? Right. Kubrick-esque, for sure. I'll give you that. It's like we fell out of reality there towards the end. A dream. It's a sci-fi? Brother, it's like Inception? We can record them? But did he exist only in your dream? Yeah, good question. They're analyzing the film for me. Correct. Sure. We're like dream scientists? Yeah, what's this? And you can't quite find who did it. Yeah. That was a cool shot. Konakawa. That was pretty effective exposition and was needed. But who are you? If only there was a way to find out. Radio Club. Paprika. Like the spice. Ooh, soundtrack. Holy shit. This is supremely watchable thus far. Number one beer. So, yeah, but who is she? Satoru Gojo? Maybe. Amazing. Incredible. Wonderful. Alright, she kind of fucking does it all. Paprika is everybody? Is her name Paprika? Okay. This is... Stop asking questions. Clearly, yes. Well, don't get him in there. He mightn't get out again. DC Mini was stolen. 3. We already have 2 accounted for. Do we not? Foundation for Psychiatric Research. It's pretty extraordinary technology. I don't want anybody recording my dreams. It'd be terrible. Yeah. He invented it. Okay. But no, that's not how... Anyway. Take some responsibility, my friend. And they're not close like that. She didn't like being called Chan. That's Chan. X-Men? It's an interesting angle to come at this of. Like the, psychiatric angle. Because I see way bigger purposes for it. Okay. He's spitting, man. I feel like I'm having a stroke. Right. Ah. He's a man of his word. Look at it. That's what he. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's what he described. In the desert, even. Indeed. Well, not by much. Guess he could have died. I'm losing my mind. Himuro. Hmm. Okay. But where does Paprika come into all of this? Brother, you can lockpick? What is happening? Well, yeah. Criminal act. Oh yeah, look at all this shit. What a background, holy fuck. Oh yeah, he's proper weird. Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. Hard boys. Fair enough. Okay. Whoa, CG. And yeah, I did see Paprika like meld into her or something, so Paprika's like channel surfing. She's like bored of that guy. Let's go on my bike and go watch something else. Yeah, here we go. This is dangerous because you've wandered into a dream. It's like we're going back to a childish past. A fair, even. Similar to the circus stuff at the start. Ooh, eerie, creepy. Abandoned amusement park? No, you can keep that. And one of my friends has a huge phobia of dolls. He would fucking hate this as well. Like he might, it's that he might have to like leave the theater if it was in a theater, you know. What are they doing? They're waving, I think. Whoa, that's insane. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, take one guess. Mm-hmm. Rule of threes. But it wouldn't be empty. You've had 3 meals. It's not even, I wouldn't even describe it as terrorism. It's just almost like an invasion of, it's like assault. Okay, we're still getting to peer into, forget his name, the Doctor's dream. Oh yeah, no, he's toast. Paprika's like a superhero or something. There we go. Uh-huh. A lot of people pay artists good money for that on commission. I'm confused too, man. I don't know. To death. Himuro leading it. And then Paprika pulled you back. So is Paprika her, like, stand, or...? It's pretty dangerous technology. Konakawa again. I haven't been dreaming lately. Okay, interesting that Konakawa's back. I thought that maybe he was just going to be like a one and done, but now he's involved too. So they know that he has these ones. Uh-huh. Some early internet is quite charming as well. Yeah, there we go. Thought we'd transition in. Like how long's it been since you saw a page load like that? You know? Love the edit. It's so good. Maybe not these days. Okay. You sure? I've got great news. You're in one. Where the fuck am I? Terrifying? Interesting. But do you? Because you've dreamed of them. I cannot tell you how weird it is to read subs that are nonsense. I'm like, should I be picking up things? Okay, project's been scrapped. Orders are orders, I guess. The ping pong robot? Okay, it's all coming together. I guess you saw these on the wall when you were going into Thingo's dream before. Himuro's like amusement park thing. Yeah. We're getting there. So you got some clues from your like little like wander into the dream from before. Yeah. Hmm? I'm sorry, she kind of is her stand. A little bit. Yeah, this is where we had trouble last time, and where it felt like I was about to jump over a fucking railing of a building, of an apartment building. Cool shot again, man. Holy shit. Found him. What is happening? Pardon? Okay. So am I right in understanding that it seems that the Yeah. Okay. You're very optimistic. Science. Shut down. It's, yeah. It's not, it's kind of. But that's why you were enamored. You were fucking eavesdropping. Okay. So it can't be an accident. He's pretty intense. Look at these two men. I can't believe they went to college together. I guess one of them could have been mature age, but I guess he's a bit grey there. And yeah, he was being brought in there because of the two cases. He's having a heart attack? What the hell? You're right, but he's an optimist. And I wouldn't take that away from him. If anything, you two work in tandem, because you keep him in check. See what I mean? Keeps him in check. I have my doubts. I don't think he's the mastermind. I'll put it that way. Great shot. No, but we should talk about it. And you're fat. Uh-huh. Well, you fucking got him. She snapped there. Ooh, this is a cutting scene. I think he's about to hook in. She's got good form. And yeah, she put on the superhero costume. But no Paprika in there this time. Back into the radio club. Are we? No. Paprika saving the day again. Ooh. Interesting. This is cool. He's viewing his own dream from within a dream. What's this? What did they say? The special something? This one again, yeah. Whoa, another go. Encore. Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh. It's so evocative because it's so close. Like oh shit, I'm the victim now too? What is the case? But you didn't. You're alive. I don't think he's dead, is he? Bad idea. Yeah, but you should. Optimistic. The vocal chops in the music there is crazy. The dreams are reproducing? It might even be anyone. It might have been the... like a concept. Correct. That is clear. But for some reason you don't like them anymore. Uh-huh. Correct. Oh, he looks fucked up too. Alright, you're just off the deep end. Concerning. Ew. It's full of fucking... I don't even want to say. Okay. Correct. To me, it almost seems that these like dream presences are like they're active even whilst you're not dreaming or something. I don't know. I've already been Paprika before. This song, man. It's a killer one. Oh, yeah, I just wanted to check where we are. Because I read 82 minutes runtime as well, so I'm imagining there's going to be a long credits here. We're more than halfway through, and it kind of doesn't feel like it. The contrast between Paprika and Atsuko is super interesting. And why is that contrast kind of not there for anybody else? Everybody else seems to be themselves in these dreams, like Totsuka and whatnot. Or is he just a conduit? Is it somebody else's dream? Oh, yeah? Peeling back the curtain. Scary. Cool background again, though. Uh-huh. I've got plush dolls of him. They're all creepy. Like, the dolls with their heads moving like that, that's almost a trope now. That's some, like, horror staple type stuff. Who the fuck are you? Well, it's that guy. I know that guy. Yeah. Okay. Alright, sure. Okay. Disorientating, man. Like, what are these decisions to make the characters change into these forms at this time? Like, what are we... Why a fairy? We're delving deeper and deeper in. Well, Peter Pan, maybe. You know? This, like, dream world that you go to. I mean, inside a snake? What is happening? Yeah, but it's almost like he's been, like, harvested or something. He's just shell. What? What did he say? There was always conceit and miscontent or something? Alright, we discovered something. And you saw that shit too, right? Uh-huh. I think he was always a victim in a way. Cool visual for that, man. That's that guy, the chief. Now, question about the cop. He's dead? He's in his, like, Utana garden at the moment. Okay, so that's your motive. That's tied into your location here, yeah. Oh, see, he got up. And the whole plant thing, too. Paprika's pretty broken. Interesting. Error. I don't like... Bad touch, man. I don't like all the fucking tendrils. All this stuff in the hotel, it's giving me Shining, like, a lot. Like, see how it turned into a wave? Sick. Okay, they made the metaphor there more obvious. That's good. Oh, mermaid. He looks like fucking Seaman for the Dreamcast. Uh-huh. Pinocchio-esque. Ugh. Yeah, the time nature of these dreams is crazy too. Like seeing yourself from an action earlier and that like saving you. What the fuck? She's been ripped to shreds? To shreds, you say? Okay. Sure. Where am I? I mean, yeah, it was butterflies, true. What a weirdo. What? 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 That's a crazy revelation. I didn't see that coming. You guys have a bit of a complex. Yeah, fucking psychoanalyze his ass. Oh yeah, and he had the thing about not being as brilliant. That doesn't bode well. You're dead? But you should save me? But I don't think you're real either. Interesting mustache. She's predisposed. That's what I was looking for there, okay. Conspiratorial. Is there a thing with 17? Oh my god, I said it again. Freaking Penn and Teller over there. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. That doesn't sound like it's going well. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Clearly you've got some shit going on. I don't... That's crazy. I see. Uh-huh. Whatever you say, man. Save the day, please. He's trying, man. It's a crazy design. Yeah, what a fucking idiot. You should have been swayed by plants like me. That was crazy, dude. He got bored. He started sleeping. I've had enough. How do I leave? Well, don't go near the butterflies. Oh, this is fun. I knew we were going to come back here one more time, but this is working great. Smash him with the fucking guitar, quick. Or not. No guitar, man. Uh-huh. Sure, man. Whatever. Find the fucking Palm d'Or over here. I don't know about the kiss is crazy. Blood? You clipped him or something. Where are we? Okay. What on earth could be the resolution? Did you slap that side of his face? Whoa. He's Gonski. Yeah, I thought it was you. Again, he has the power without the thing to be... Yeah. That body is mine. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Seems normal. Cool shot. Alright, he fucking got your ass. 7:63 a.m. is crazy. Yeah, but we're in peril again. It's beginning again. Brother, what is happening? Alright, he's gone fucking rogue. Sure. What the fuck is happening? Yeah, but what are we to do? No, I think the dream is now reality. Well, yeah. Yeah, but how? Pink elephant's a cool touch. This shit's the craziest shit I've ever fucking seen. Paprika, yeah. Hurry up. Yes, ma'am. Dive in. Quick. Yeah, sick. You're freaky as fuck. Oh, yes! Let's go! Terrorists win. Who's the real clone? Horse. No, wake up though. No, what else can I possibly do for you? She got vored? Eh? 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 I was about to say that line. He stole it from me. Is that fucking reality? That's so cool. Brother, that's the real world. Paprika's gonna come out of the fucking walls here in a second. Beats me. I get it. Okay. That hole's getting bigger? Where? Wait. You got swallowed? Indeed, yeah. And you still give him a hand. It's like we're seeing ourselves in the past again. Yeah. Damn. Have fun, sure. Told you that hole was getting bigger, man. He's jacked. Brother, that's fucking... That's the bald titan. You're a freaky guy. Is she gonna kaiju battle him? I think she might. He set off 1 trillion nukes. They had a baby? Uh-huh. She's eating up all the fucking miasma. Uh-huh. She's gonna fight him. Now you're gonna eat him? Okay, this is... This is the freakiest shit I've ever seen. Sure. She won. Okay. So what happened? Oh, no, it beats the fuck out of me, man. Yeah? What else? All I know is it's fat chud season. Fuck the gym, we're getting in the kitchen. Well, kind of. Something something partner in college, something something his death. There you go. What to make of the big hole in the middle of the city? Should I go to that website? Hey, there we go. Dreaming kids. The hell is that? Oh, hey. I know all those. Dreaming kids. Looks a bit of a banger. He went back to the movies again, I think. So that's his resolution. Sure. Needless to say, I've got my work cut out for me once again in whatever I make of the analysis there. It's kind of impossibly broad, the directions you can take it in. I think first step will be hashing out what happened. Not that it's particularly important. Generally, okay, but what did I get away? Like, what did I get out of it? There's clearly this split with Atsuko and Paprika between, like, the rational and the professional and the adventurous, and it's like two parts of your brain, the one that does the right thing and the one that does what it fucking wants, right? I think we learn to both embrace Paprika and we learn to embrace, like, talk at the same time, because they kind of represent the same thing, which is this, like, wide-eyed idealism. Like, oh, I'm going to create this machine that turns dreams into reality and not think about any of the consequences just because I think it's something cool to do. I'm always going to take an optimistic lens. I'm never going to consider that, my mate over here could be doing something sus on the side and selling it off to some other guy, or my boss is weird, or that other guy's fucking weird, or any of this shit. It's to embrace, like, the silly, the imperfections, the follow your heart, almost, as simple as that is. And that's one side of the story. The other side is the whole cop stuff, where that's more like the past is binding me and my perspective on certain things. And then through this dream and through reflection and through in kind of synthesis and combination with other people's, I can then have a brand new perspective on what happened to me. It's almost like therapy for him. It's almost like he's being psychoanalyzed and he comes out a better person and can watch movies again, which he clearly has a bit of a complex about. But okay, even divorced from like literal stuff happening in the like the plot, I think it's just watchable. I think it's visually stunning. Obviously, they're animated great. Lots of great character animation cuts in there. Lots of good backgrounds and notes. I like where we like integrate reality towards the end as well. I think that's great. It's a compelling tale that kept me on my toes. There were twists and turns. Characters weren't what I thought they were going to be. So with Himuro, right, I believe that they manipulated him to give them the thing. Because he's gay, right? And he likes old mate. Also, whatever his name was. So that's how they got it in the first place. And that's why there was a number stolen. And then obviously Baldy's got his complex about wanting to walk, considering, he's in a wheelchair. It's pretty short, all things considered, as well. I think if this thing was like even 10 minutes longer, I would start to get too overwhelmed. It'd be too much of an intense watch. Only a few characters. We keep the scope fairly internal. It kind of bleeds out into reality by the very end. Kind of. I don't know. What's a dream? What's not a dream? What matters about it? I don't know. It's not what I thought it was going to be going in. I didn't think it'd be as sci-fi as it was. I thought it'd be, like, psychological, but not sci-fi. Sure. As I said before, got my work cut out for me. An intense watch, if nothing else. You'll see me at some point analyzing this thing. I've got to write some notes. That's going to be my job. But good. Yeah, enjoyable. It's kind of, flash first reaction. Oh, about as good as the other two? I forget which way I ended on Perfect Blue Millennium Actress. I think they're both about equal, obviously doing very different things. So this feels like a split point between them. But again, Millennium Actress, pretty optimistic, all things considered. Perfect Blue, not so. Depends on your perspective on the ending, I guess, but kind of splitting the difference here. I think we ended optimistic, but it's still pretty fucking heady and psychological and weird and yeah. Anyway, I need to write notes. You'll see me shortly. And we're back. It's been a few days since I've watched the film, and I've written some notes, as we can see up here. If you haven't really seen one of these film things before that I do, generally it comes with this kind of structure. I'm not going to go back through piece by piece like I do the other stuff. I'm going to summarize and whatnot. And this one in particular, it took a lot of time to understand and reinterpret and attempt to summarize, I guess. It's not it's a lot. It's a lot. It's very dense. It's one of the denser movies that I've done like this on the channel, I would say. It's one of the denser things that I've done overall. Maybe like Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, even though they're not very like equivalent at all. That one's more just like reference. That's where the density comes from. But I just kept peeling back the layers and finding like so much neat stuff to talk about. I'm very, very excited to, I guess, uncover what I've discovered, with the caveat, of course, that I am still going to miss stuff. Like, again, I've been doing my reading. A lot of people go into the psychological aspect using, actual research, like Jungian, Freudian mumbo jumbo. Not really my bag. I'm not that well versed, so I'm not going to be, looking at it through that lens per se. All I can do is bring my perspective to it, and yeah, I guess that's enough preamble. Let's get into this thing. I'm going to start with this. I think it's my favorite of the Satoshi Kon films that I've seen. Before I watched this, it probably would have been Perfect Blue, I think, even though both are pretty close in my view, Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress. And they share a lot of DNA, all three of these films, right? There's a, definite split between fiction and reality, for sure. Like, it's very prominent in his work. There's a point by which we split into two different versions of ourselves, and you know, a search in almost art for meaning and all of that as well. Art, dreams, you know, what's real, what's not real. We play with perception. I just think this one, Paprika, kind of hit me at a point where it's like, it's Perfect Blue is very cynical, and that I wouldn't take that away from it. That's what it's trying to do, but it's not me. I'm not a very cynical person, I don't think. At least I'd like to be optimistic. And the thing that I come away from Paprika thinking the most is optimism. Is like, the world's actually okay, which wasn't what I was expecting to come away from it with. And I really love the ending. It's some out there imagery for that, but it most certainly gets the point across about, you know, I guess this child-adult split in all of it as well. Childish idealism, adult cynicism. We fucking fuck him off. He's gone. We suck him down. Pause. And I guess that moment, in combination with the embracing of all sides of Atsuko / Paprika, in with, you know, that extra little spice or whatever else as well. Like, all that was just very inspiring and very, like, thought-provoking. I really loved it. And obviously there you do right by Konakawa and all of that as well. It's just, it ties a nice bow on everything. It's a good ending. I really stand by it. Speaking of the ending, we should have a quick read through the plot just as a once-over, because we'll get to some criticisms later on, but I feel like the plot was a little bit too complicated for its own good sometimes. On its surface, it's pretty simple when you talk about it in broad strokes, as we will do now. So, once I read that, the Wikipedia here in a second, a lot of things I'm like, okay, all right, just calm down. It's a bit simpler than you think. Okay, everybody, plot. Let's get something else on screen. Bit more interesting. Give me something. That'll do. Sure. In the near future, a newly created device called the DC Mini allows users to view people's dreams. The head of the team working on this treatment, Dr. Atsuko Chiba, begins using the machine illegally to help psychiatric patients outside the research facility by assuming her dream world alter ego, a detective named Paprika. Atsuko's closest allies are Dr. Torataro Shima, the chief of the department, and Dr. Kosaku Tokita, the inventor of the DC Mini. Pause. This helps so much. Once again, I wonder if there's a better way, and it's probably just language barrier stuff too, to just get this information across in a way more concrete way. I guess it drops you in the deep end. You're like, okay, but who's Paprika? And then it's like, well, okay, that's who Paprika is. Okay, cool. Okay, why did we keep talking about psychiatric patients? Okay, so that's outside of the jurisdiction. Okay, see what I mean? Like, as soon as all that stuff comes together, it's like, okay, I understand why people are mad. I guess, like what their investment is. And also, of course, framing the beginning of the film. Paprika counsels a detective named Toshimi Konakawa, who is plagued by a recurring dream regarding an unknown former colleague and a victim in a homicide case he is investigating. She gives Toshimi a card with the name of the website on it, which leads him into a bar where he is able to meet with Paprika, who compares the internet to dreams. In a meeting with the company's chairman, Seijiro Inui, to discuss the theft of 3 DC Mini prototypes, Torataro goes on a nonsensical tirade and jumps through a window, nearly killing himself upon examining Torataro's dream, which is a parade of random objects. Kosaku recognizes his assistant, Kei Himuro, which confirms their suspicion that the theft was an inside job. Right back up here near the start. I now know what that meeting between these two is, right? At the very start. Like, okay, well, why is Paprika chilling with what's his face, Konakawa? That's why. He's a psychiatric patient. And I'm sure that's there in the dialogue. There's a lot of stuff to remember, you know. I'm blessed sometimes doing TV anime where, you know, I'm able to pause every 20 or so minutes and go back through and be like, oh yeah, okay, that's what happened. Not as lucky here, I guess. I guess I'll pause now to talk about it as well. Flip Flappers? Flip Flappers is directly inspired by Paprika to a pretty obvious degree now. Just think about it. Machine helps you see into people's dreams. Pure illusion. A character called Paprika, who is kind of mirrored against another character who's a little bit more straight-laced. It's like a big dumb version of Paprika, basically. And again, I've watched Flip Flappers on the channel already. I thought it was a great time, so I just made that connection. during the time between the segments, so I thought I'd mention it. While investigating Himiro's home, Atsuko ignores the warnings that Paprika gives her and accidentally slips into a dream space, which, due to her frequent use of the DC Mini, can now affect her constantly. Atsuko almost dies after ignoring another warning by Paprika and is rescued by her co-investigators. Specifically, if we want to get specific about this, Osanai, right? The one freak guy, this guy. Sexual deviant guy, bad touch, we don't like him. Which again maybe brings into sharper focus his motive during this scene as well. He may not be as noble as he seems. When two other scientists fall victim to the DC Mini, Seijiro bans the use of the device. This fails to hinder the crazed parade, now inside Himiro's dream, which claims Kosaku. Now, this is a bit further on now. We're kind of skipping through a lot. This is kind of after we confront him here, and there's this big scene where Atsuko's like, you're a fucking dreaming piece of shit. Fuck you. Basically, she disapproves of his lack of responsibility on the subject. Like, hey, this thing's being torn apart for a reason. Like, this is affecting people. This is affecting me. It's egotistical to want to keep making this thing regardless. She also calls him fat a few times as well, which is pointed, of course. Thought there was a lot of kind of pathos in this scene where he just kind of looks back down at the kind of rubble and tries to pick it back up again. Again, always seeing the best in people, inspired to then go into Himiro's dream and try to pull him out. Surely we can, meet on a level here somewhere. Paprika and Torataro discover that Himiro is only an empty shell. The real culprit is Seijiro. Jumping well ahead again. Where's this? Where we discover that? Kind of here, I guess, a little bit before this as well, who believes that he must protect dreams from humankind's influence through dream therapy with the help of Osanai. Investigating the demise of the two scientists, Toshimi meets with Atsuko, Torataro, and Kosaku. Leaving the meeting, he has an anxiety attack. In an emergency session with Paprika, she reveals the scenes in his dreams each correspond to genres of movies. The parade bursts into Toshimi's dream, prompting Paprika to leave the session and to help Kosaku in Himiro's dream. I guess, yeah, that happens like here. Yeah. A bit out of order here in the old summary. But yeah, a few choice bits of symbolism in here too. Like we're peeling it back to like the wallpaper of the scene to get behind it, to see literally who is behind this thing, even in a filmic sense, almost like going behind the scenes. It's pretty fun. I like it. Paprika is captured by Seijiro and Morio, who obsessively confesses his love for Atsuko and peels away Paprika's skin to reveal Atsuko underneath, a scene we will be going into in a lot of detail later on. It is fucked up. It's also amazing. What a scene, holy shit. However, he is interrupted by an outraged Seijiro, literally, he spouts another fucking head, it's mental, who demands that they finish off Atsuko. So of course then there's this to and this fro between like, okay, well, she's a threat, we should take her out. Paprika's like fucking Goku in this universe. We have a chance here. And obviously Osanai's feelings on the subject. That's what ultimately kind of gets in the way. Meanwhile, in his dream at the bar, Toshimi learns his recurring dream is based in anxiety over the illness and death of his colleague from his youth whose memory he'd repressed, with whom he aspired to be a film director. Repression is a huge theme in the film. We'll be going into it. Resolving his anxieties, Toshimi finds and enters Himiro's dream and flees with Atsuko back to his own dream. Barriers between the dreams, they're breaking down here at this time, if they haven't already, considering the parade from one dream went into another. Morio gives chase, which ends in Toshimi shooting Morio. The act kills Morio's physical body in the real world. Once again, barriers falling down. Once again, significance there for Konakawa. He found the culprit, per se. He finally got to take down the perpetrator. He became the hero in his little story. He has his big old movie kind of victory moment, I guess you would say. Like the big old, yeah, that. And the crowd applauds. It's a full theater as opposed to the empty theater we've seen throughout the rest of the runtime. It's good. Dreams and reality begin to merge. The dream parade runs amok in the city and reality starts to unravel. This is where the density of the film really goes into overdrive. There's a ton of stuff there. Torataro is nearly killed by a giant doll but is saved by Paprika, who now appears as a fully separate entity from Atsuko. Amidst the chaos, Kosaku, in the form of a giant robot, eats Atsuko and prepares to do the same to Paprika. Seijiro, in a megalomaniacal delirium, Great words, Wikipedia. Returns in the form of a giant humanoid nightmare and threatens to darken the world with his delusions. Paprika throws herself into Korsaku's body, a baby emerges from the robotic shell and consumes Seijiro, aging into a fully grown combination of Atsuko and Paprika. As she does so, then fades away, ending the nightmare. In the real world, Atsuko sits at Korsaku's bedside as he wakes up. Toshimi later visits the website from Paprika's card and receives a message from Paprika suggesting the film Dreaming Kids to him. He enters the cinema and purchases a ticket for Dreaming Kids. Dreaming? Kids? Oh my god, it's the themes of the film. Insane, insanity. I kind of forgot to grab visuals for that too. But anyway, you guys saw the movie, you guys know what I'm talking about. So as I write here, I believe that helps a great deal. Thank you. To the point where you could almost be critical, but I think these films, the Satoshi Kon ones, they're kind of made for a rewatch anyway. You can't be, I don't know, too much of a stick in the mud about it. Put it this way, I didn't feel like I was getting bogged down by not understanding the details. And yeah, after that, I kind of want to talk about each character and kind of their journey in a little bit of isolation with just kind of 3 keywords about them. And of course, contrast. Like, the most obvious two here, we have Atsuko and Paprika, right? Atsuko, rational. She has a duty, right? She feels dutiful to her clients, right? To the people that she wants to help, but also like a responsibility for the technology that they've created. But what is that also rooted in? That's deep down rooted in care. She cares deeply about people. She wouldn't be doing this for you. She wouldn't be doing it for Tokita either, if she didn't truly care. She may seem like a bit of a stick in the mud about things, especially when bouncing off her crazy comedic side characters, but I really grew to be endeared to her, to Atsuko, because Atsuko is also repressed. That's why Paprika exists. That adds a whole dimension to her character, right? I say this a million times on the channel. Do you want to make an interesting character? Give them like a conundrum. Give them a despite. You know, despite X, they do Y. That's a conflict. That's something, right? So again, Atsuko, despite, you know, being a rational person, being a very successful scientist as well, that, you know, career woman, all this kind of stuff, she also cares deeply and also has another different side to her, which is everything that, you know, she feels like she's missing. And Paprika's great. She lived up to the billing. I understand why she's the title character, of course. Whimsical is the word I would use to describe there. Romantic as well. Even, again, you use Paprika to read into Atsuko. I feel like Atsuko feels like she should be more romantic and stuff. Like, as is revealed here, these two, there's something going on there at the end, for sure. And it's more than just romantic, it's also in control of her own sexuality as well. She was always in power. She always feels empowered, which, again, it speaks volumes about the other character. That's what makes this so great, this dichotomy that we have. Because whatever Paprika feels, it's a repressed emotion from you, you know? And we read into your problems through Paprika. I think, yeah, we get intimate, candlelit scenes between you two, and there's, you know, there's definitely some Konakawa kind of into it, kind of she's the girl of my dreams type energy. Even a little bit here, weirdly enough, you get all up next to him and whatnot. Yeah, concerning. But again, definitely in power there. I think the most interesting example here again is this stuff, right? She's like quipping back at him. Like, Atsuko's not doing that. It's what she wants to do. It's what one part of her psyche wants to do, but she herself is not doing that. As we peel this layer away, this like guard of Paprika we almost have up, right? This like facade. Like, we see how truly terrifying this situation actually is and how you should be feeling in all of it. It feels like it's like a what if, right? Atsuko's like, okay, but what if it could be like this? Oh, the butterfly wings as well. It's like this kind of reverse metamorphosis or actual metamorphosis to it as well, just in her character and demeanor. It's just, it's wonderful. It's wonderful, everybody. Paprika with a lot of that fairy symbolism earlier as well. Now we've got her pinned down. We finally got her cornered. Like this like, you know, whimsical magical being is now just, we got her right there. Anyway, love this dichotomy. Think it's great. Could, you know, glaze all day about it. Tokita, I would say he is uninhibited, for better or for worse. Where's him just chowing down on some food, man? He goes mental. Yeah, he's eaten enough for all of them. He's a big boy. And it kind of mirrors how he works with the DC Mini. He developed this technology. He's the genius behind it. He's like the guy right there in the middle. He is quote unquote brilliant, but he also doesn't have anybody holding him back or thinking about the consequences. I think we ultimately come out with an optimistic view on this uninhibition. The inhibitions released potentially, that it is ultimately a good thing, but again, maybe needs a combination of everything. Like, we need both the metaphorical Atsuko and the metaphorical Paprika in all of this. Like, we need a bit of rationalism to all of it, just somebody to hold you back. That's what makes, again, Tokita and Atsuko a really good couple, I think, as well. He's also just a bit of a cutie patootie. I think he's a really fun character design, really stands out as a point of difference against the rest of the cast and really against other contemporary anime films. I don't think we really see characters this fucking big, at least very rarely, that aren't, comedic side characters. The next example of his optimism comes through in the Himuro stuff, right? He's very quick to hop in again with him, right? Like, look at him. He's so earnest. He just... Himuro's gone, buddy. He's gone. You don't understand the full breadth of what's going on here, but you wanted to extend the olive branch. Again, he was like your partner. It's really sweet to me. It almost reminds me of Konokawa and his kind of college friend, that they just have this really like hearty, what's the word, working relationship that he wants to like rekindle. And for various reasons, both Konokawa and Tokita here can't kind of repair things with that partner. They're gone. So just some more nice character rhyming. He's a kind boy. We like a kind boy. Absolutely. Now, I was being dumb through a lot of the runtime. What do you mean the evil looking guy in the wheelchair is evil? That looks like this. Of course he's evil. I was being a moron. I don't know. I didn't expect the twist, and I probably should have. Seijiro Inui is order, control, and the status quo. Kind of. Because by the end there, he also goes fucking mental. He goes mad with power. Or maybe, again, a lot of this stuff in the start of the movie is a front, and he's like, okay, I don't want everybody to have the dream ability. I just want me to have it because I know how fucking good it is. And how ultimately powerful it could be. Maybe, again, the whole time he was that... what did we say, megalomaniacal? Potentially. But he is the opposite of Tokita. He wants to shut shit down. He likes things the way they are right now. There's a really good frame of him, well, even there's a lot of that plant stuff that is associated with him, of course, in the background. But a lot of his shots will have like bookcases and whatnot in the background. It definitely adds to that ordered theme. Yeah, this perfect quote too. I'm forbidding the use of the DC MIDI and psychotherapy machines in general. Ordered bookcase in the background. Like, I don't want things to go all wonky and crazy. I'm on a level. I want it on the straight and narrow. Next up, we have Shima, who is a little mad scientist guy. He's supportive. He's an amicable bloke as well. Works as a good side character mostly. Funny, as in like funny looking. Like, I just like looking at the guy. It's like some fucking, Doc Brown type stuff. And yeah, very quick to extend a helping hand to Konokawa, through whom he has a connection. That's why Konokawa is involved in all of this in the first place. Like, we suggested the therapy to him, I believe. And yeah, it's a great guy in the chair for, I guess, the back half as well, where Paprika is just kind of doing her thing. It's a great moment as well where Paprika thinks that she's out of the dream, or Atsuko, I guess. We go and confront him, and then we find our way in the dream again, and of course, he's fucking freaking the fuck out. He's like, ugh, and even the bar there that keeps going through. Wonderful moment. And I've written anxiety here. He's often very flustered. I think the first time we see him, very much so. Like, oh my god, stolen DC Mini, He's the first to be susceptible to all of this as well. I don't know, not a character that I'll talk a lot about from here, but definitely necessary. You feel his presence. He's a good guy. I think more than necessary here is Konokawa, who is a character that seems very separate from the outside looking in, but is actually integral to the themes and whatnot. I'd say that him and Tokita, they're the hearts of the film. Konokawa's whole thing it's the opening. We're invested in him finding out the mystery, and why do all the people in the circus turn into his face and start running at him? There's a lot of investment there early that pays off in spades. He's a very protective guy as well. I like him coming to Paprika's rescue in this whole debacle. I felt that it worked well for his character and him making into that role of the hero. you know, just it fit. He feels a lot like a Yakuza character to me, and I have scarce experience there, but from what I have done, like, he feels like, you know, this gruff older guy that, you know, likes to sit in a bar and, you know, he's just good. He's just a good guy, you know. I thought he also felt a lot like Old Mate from Millennium Actress, the kind of person doing the documentary that kind of follows them around. Just, yeah, maybe it's the whole, you know, jumping between different movies thing as well, but they felt like similar characters. His whole thing being a cinephile as well was really fun. I'm sure there's some really neat little Easter eggs in there for all you freaks. Really cool scene here towards the middle as well, where he's kind of explaining, you know, all the filmic techniques and whatnot. Paprika once again just like waiting with bated breath. Very, again, romantic. She sells this moment. Works as a great therapist. Allows him to start, you know, digging a little bit deeper, actually going and watching all these movies and, you know, uncovering that repression. But yeah, wears a lot of hats in the film and finds clarity by the very end, and just is a really necessary component. Loved him. Usanai. Listen, I didn't think he was all that interesting until he started going wacko. But him going wacko was great, so... A character of a few moments, it makes some earlier scenes click into place, like he very explicitly says in this car ride over here that I wish I was brilliant like you other two or whatever. It becomes very clear that he's jealous of Tokita, but also jealous of Atsuko in kind of a different way, if you know what I mean. That's why I describe him as a devious guy. He's literally planning behind the scenes with Seijiro through a lot of the runtime. Like, he's the mastermind. He's a devious little guy. But that deviousness comes from frustration. Like, he's not who he wants to be. Almost him in real life here is a person that's like, you know, I'm just a little bit torn on things. And through this dream world, it like kind of lets his worst impulses act. Like, again, I feel like there's part of all of us that kind of feel like this guy. Just a little bit frustrated with it all sometimes. I don't know. What we shouldn't do is channel that into rape. That's bad. We shouldn't do that. And just the general intimacy of dreams as well, and wanting to control that, and wanting to control that for different people is, yeah, it's all... It all reads as not great. Obviously, I like that he died. I support that. He died in the dream, he died in real life. It's all just coming up Millhouse from my point of view. I also describe him as useful. He's a useful lackey. He's a good second in command. And I've just written Himuro here. We don't need to go into great detail. Clearly jealous of Tokita. That's kind of the major plot point of him even, you know, giving out the DC minis, because the way I understand it is he has the DC minis, or at least access to them. Usanai says, hey, if I scratch your back, so to say, you're going to scratch mine by giving me these things. And that's how, you know, that technology gets loose, and, you know, we start the whole parade shenanigans. As I've implied just there, repressed in a lot of ways. Sexually, for sure. I don't know if society overall, or he's ready to come out, or they'll be accepting of somebody homosexual, you know. Definitely that side of him's repressed. And obviously all of the doll symbolism as well associated with him. Like, you know, he almost feels like he wants to go back to being a child a little bit. He's struggling with adulthood. He's a character that doesn't have a lot of screen time, so you've got to imply a lot of things. And for the record, this background when we're in his room is great at, like, displaying who he is, really. Also some really good Easter eggs. Eh? Anyway, a lot of the dream that ends up happening towards the end feels like it's hijacking a lot of Himuro's stuff. So even with that, you could read into a whole bunch of other stuff too. And yeah, ultimately coming out of this, thinking that he's a victim in all of this. Like, pretty obviously. Might seem that way for half the runtime, but there is a greater power at will here that is using his frustrations and repressions against him. Potentially, if Seijiro Inui had his way, he would do that for everybody. That's bad. You shouldn't use people in their weaknesses that they keep hidden within their psyche and in their dreams against them. That's poor. Cool. The largest segment here that I have is what did it all mean? And there's a lot to go into. I'm just going to kind of spitball. Again, there's no real structure here. I've just kind of written down some talking points once again. So for one, I really love the opening credits. I think they're spectacularly good. Very characterful, gives you a view into Paprika, that she's going to bend reality and break down the walls and the barriers of whatever's going on. She's almost like this Looney Tunes cartoon character in spots where she just fucking does whatever. Very floaty. You could probably write something pretty significant comparing the whole dichotomy from Perfect Blue between, you know, the two characters there, and, you know, Paprika and Atsuko. I just thought similarly how she's floating between scenes and, you know, all that kind of stuff. It reminded me a lot of the Perfect Blue kind of gear that we were doing. I don't know, it's like the good ending. She's all very caring and stuff and less foreboding and menacing and whatnot. Perfect control over reality as well, just stopping traffic on a whim. And really loving this shot where we transition from Paprika straight into Atsuko. Huge difference in the facial expression there for sure. Just, yeah. Just a little bit more sharp in the eyes for sure. And yeah, for a switched on viewer, this would potentially be an indicator that these are the same character. In hindsight, I don't know how I didn't get it. I guess I don't know. We all make mistakes. It's fine. But yeah, just wanted to shout it out. It's a great tone setter as well. The music's awesome. It's a really good scene. So the major theme in this thing is blending fiction and reality. I've talked to it some already. It's something that Kon likes to do in all of his other works. I wonder if it rears its head in Tokyo Godfathers at all. I can't imagine that it does, but seems to be the thing that he does. Now, in Perfect Blue, this was kind of the separation between the idol version of myself that is, you know, the me that I project outwardly as a product, almost as a brand, and the real me behind it all, who just wants to entertain people and shine and whatever else, but there's a seedy underbelly to it, you know? I may be being forced into doing things that I don't really want to do all the time because... Anyway, you guys watch Perfect Blue. That's definitely the blend there. The showbiz me and the real me, and who's really taking control. Am I the character? Am I playing the character? This is the character becoming me. It's all great. Now, Millennium Actress, it's a little bit, again, less hardcore. It's a little bit more like reliving her life and, you know, the trials and tribulations through all these different film characters that I played. Obviously, again, the roles there blending in with the actual order of events, you know. Was it me playing in these films that did all this, or was it, you know, my actual life? And, you know, picking and choosing there, that's the joy of the film. Similarly here, but we're working with dreams. Dreams is the fiction, and almost literally is the fiction in Konakawa's case, considering the filmic direction of his dreams. So yeah, I just think that's an interesting next step for Kon, right? After what he's done. He's like, okay, well, how else can I expand upon this, you know? It's almost taking what we have done in the past a little bit more literally. Like, okay, what if the films that were being all, you know, blending between and it being a little bit eerie, what if it was literally a delve into one's psyche? Like, literally, as a dream. And yeah, I mentioned earlier where she was kind of tearing at the wallpaper of the dream to get to who's behind it all. The background here being a very, very realistic kind of city background, and again, the barrier and the curtain of this film, this animated film, falling and revealing our real world behind it as well. Another great example of what I'm talking about overall. Number of really trippy, almost psychedelic moments as well, where you're not sure where you are, if you're in the dream world or not. A notable one very early is when Atsuko falls through the ground here. Yeah, you know, she pushed against the thing too hard. She was exploring a dream world in reality, and reality caught up with her. It's the thing with dreams as well and falling. I think there's a lot in that too. Something we do quite a bit. A lot of falling through the air. Next up here we have duality, or the multifacetedness of people. Dreams is a delve into the subconscious desires, you know, give little character tidbits and whatnot as we're in people's dreams. So the most obvious one is front and center. It's titular. It's Paprika. Paprika is the subconscious desire of Atsuko to be this person that's a dream detective, that's all things to everybody, you know, openly romantic and sexual, in touch with her feelings, perfect hair, perfect body, all that other kind of stuff. It's interesting because it reveals what she sees as flaws within herself. you know? And again, by the end of the film, we're like embracing those things, like Tokita and others, like really appreciate the real her. Osanai does too, but a little bit too much. Let's not talk about that. Osanai, great example of this as well. Again, on the outside, just a bit of a normal looking bloke. Saves the day though. Look at him, saving the day. Great job, right there. But in the dreams, he's revealed to, you know, almost like incel coded a little bit. Like, why won't you ever look my way? Now I have you right where I want you. I was only doing this insofar as I could have my shot with you. We'll talk about the whole Oedipus thing here in a second as well, be sure. But casting himself in that role, like within his own dreamscape. Konakawa, another great example. Again, the repression there being around, you know, this other filmic side that he has left in the past and forgotten about, you know, his college days and the trauma around the loss of that friend and why he doesn't want to recall it. In his dreams, he gets to end up being the hero, the stereotypical filmic hero, the protagonist, so to say. So he gets to satisfy that part, which, again, was what he wanted. He wanted closure. He got stereotypical closure here by the end of his little scene, right? Like, stereotypically so, he's done with it all. Even in quote-unquote getting the girl, too. It's great. It works wonderfully. I think another interesting one is Tokita. Why is he perceived as a robot in the dream? I almost see it as opposite day kind of stuff. Like in real life, he's this real free spirit. He kind of does whatever. He's definitely alive, if nothing else. And when he's in the dream and when he's being trapped away, he becomes something that we can control and something that we can program. We must remember that when he's in the parade and turns into the robot, like that's all Seijiro Inui stuff. He wants to be able to control this creative free spirit type kind of guy, right? Himuro, another interesting one to look at with all the dolls. He's picturing himself as a doll in his little dream parade thing too. Like if I had a choice, I would want to go back to when I was like a kid, when things were a little bit easier. But once again, doll, similar to robot, something that you can control and kind of manipulate to however you want it to be. Once again, he's being used as a cog in a larger plan. Continuous analysis of these dreams and applying it to every character is continuously fruitful. It's the thing that took me the longest amount of time here, really, where I'm just like, oh my god, you can make so many inferences if you want to. People have written like college level thesis papers about this film, and I don't blame them. There's a lot to chew on to, you know. Is worthy of it. If I had to come away with a moral of the film, I would say that it is in part embracing inner child. Embrace being the optimist, embrace being a dreamer. And I say here central to Atsuko's character arc, that's probably, you know, underselling it. I think more so to her, it's, you know, instead of this dualism between both of her sides, it's a unity, right? Sometimes I've got to be like Atsuko, sometimes I've got to be like Paprika, right? Notably, during this sequence, both Atsuko and Paprika are two different forms, and they separate from each other before being reunified through Tokita, which is all very significant too. All this stuff. Why don't you listen? You're a part of me. And then, you know, you think you can control yourself and others. Like, almost be... Because Paprika and Tokita are very similar, and there's this lovely scene, right, where we're in the elevator, where again, what Atsuko needs to be is sometimes like a little push for somebody. She needs to be complementary to these people. When they get them, don't be cross at them for getting themselves into the bind, just kind of help them when they get into it. Eventually, right? This is what I mean when we're embracing being an optimist, right? There is a part of yourself at some point that is going to need to be logical and get yourself out of these conundrums. But I think ultimately that's just life. You can't hold yourself back and be this stereotypical scientist person and, you know, hold yourself back almost. Like, let your inner Tokita, let your inner Paprika fly free with the knowledge that another part of your brain will save you in the end. And be that support. See, literally embracing. Literally embracing. That's why I find, again, that unification between these two by the very end so very beautiful. I love it. I love it morally. Dialogue here as well, speaking to that theme of opposites, light and dark, reality and dreams, life and death, man and woman. Oh my god. Man and woman combine with a little bit of spice. And they create a child. Little baby here that starts sucking away the darkness. I don't know. In kind of the optimism of youth and like just that rawness, that untaintedness could kind of come in and solve whatever kind of bullshit this old man's got cooking up. Like quite literally, like light and dark, like these are the two sides of your brain. Like it's, you know, if you feel like this, you know, more logical, status quo-y, almost megalomaniacal side, as we keep saying, is taking control, potentially try to balance that back out. Bit of yin and yang to it. And it's a very, very abstract way to look at it. And I was thoroughly entertained by it. It's definitely out there. There's a curious phrase through a lot of the film as well. It's dream terrorism. I thought the T word there was curious for sure. I see it more as just like an invasion of privacy. Like, that being the overall ethical concern of the DC Mini. And as we eloquently put as well, very similar to the internet overall. Where's the scene here? Yeah, like this scene where we're talking about the website and the radio club and the whatever else. With the advent of new technology, such as the internet and social media and whatever, throw AI in there and whatever else, why not? It opens new doors. It's this new, brilliant, optimistic thing. If we take that view into it, like with it, right? Like if we purely choose to look at the positives of these new technological advancements, it's a good thing. Like I can talk to somebody on the other side of the world right now just like that. And that's insane. That's a very cool thing. But we mustn't be exactly like Tokito all the time and not consider the downsides there as well. That getting something that is almost too good to be true must come with some kind of downside. I don't know. I keep a lot of personal fucking data on this computer as well, and on my phone and whatever else. A lot of things that people could use to harm me. It's the equivalent of somebody invading my dreams if they were to hack me. It's a pretty openly... It's more sci-fi than you think in concept. We just don't have all the aesthetic stuff to go along with it. So yeah, the DC Mini as a warning against unchecked technological advancement. But once again, the film doesn't feel PSA because by the very end it's like, yeah, no, we should advance, but just do it in the right way. Like, be smart about it. Embrace both sides. All that other kind of good stuff. Now, the parade is central to the film. One of the most impressive pieces of animation and art in the whole thing. It's meant to be kind of nonsense. It's like the nonsense that people babble as well. It's meant to be fucked. Look at it, it's fucked. And the music as well, it feels like some kind of fucking Danganronpa nightmare. It's great, it's wonderful. I just thought it ticked a lot of boxes very quickly. It ticks a box of, again, this kind of chaotic sense that we want from these dreams and, you know, this unraveling of everything as well. It's like breaking through barriers. It feels really unstoppable and unwieldy, but also really feels like dream logic. It feels like some things that, like, you know when you wake up from a dream and you can't really recall all of it, but you know something fucking weird was happening? I feel like we really nailed that feeling, which is super impressive. Whenever the parade was on screen, I was enamored. I was enraptured. It was very good. Kind of went into this one already a little bit. The internet, similar to dreaming, especially a dream where everybody is connected and that the barriers keep on breaking down over time and drifts further and further into the real world as the dream does from here. Like the real world within their world and then the real world within our real world. It's, you know, it feels like technology overall, it's encroaching ever so. Yeah, just, I thought it was a neat connection for sure. Dreams are like aspirations, aspirational in the internet as well. I don't know. There's something there. You can do anything you want, you know, in dream or online. Sure. Now, what do we make of Seijiro Inui as a plant person? It's something that's associated with him quite a lot. Notable scene here where we have kind of Shima and Konakawa talking, and he kind of emerges out of the fucking bushes. See? Kind of comes out from behind there. Yeah, it's plant stuff going on with him pretty consistently. Now, I don't know. I don't really know what to make of it, because I'm associating him with order a lot. Maybe there's something very... what's the word? Like, primordial about him? Like, he wants to take things back to a base element? Like, he wants to... like, almost back before society overall. Like, back before anything. I don't know, he feels like ultra conservative type of stuff. Not even from a political sense, just like as a personality type. Obviously, again, he uses the plant stuff to grow into places as well and be all, you know, tentacle man. He wants to keep all the plants in his little sanctuary where he just grows them and controls them. There's definitely an element of overly control there, I think. It's a hard one to pin down for mine. It's almost like a weed or something. Or he wants to weed out the weeds of his garden. The ne'er-do-wells, and have everything all very pure. So the purity to that as well. I don't know. If anybody's got a better read there, I'm all ears. Talent versus hard work. Definitely a theme for sure as well. Konakawa versus his friend. No, this was during this sequence. Basically, his friend is like brilliant. Always one step ahead of me, but he was also like another me too. That's why we're mirroring the two. That's why Konakawa, you know, feels like himself is antagonistic towards himself, and that he shot himself, and there was a small part where I was confused where I thought he committed suicide and he was dead in real life. Anyway, it's all because, like, this guy's another me. Kinda. I don't know, it's definitely a thing that a lot of the characters do go through, confronting somebody that's ultimately just a bit more brilliant than you. Osanai Tokita, that's pretty obvious. Like, we say it pretty explicitly here in the car pretty early on. Like, very tongue-in-cheek here when talking about genius, and even ends the scene by saying, like, I feel powerless. Maybe I want to grab power to change that. I don't know. We're going into talent and hard work a lot in ping pong. I feel like, again, there's a lot of ways you can go with this kind of thing, and he just doesn't do the right thing. Now, Atsuko as well, career woman, frustrated with Tokita, that he can just build stuff like that. And he has this idea like that, and he can just do it all. Best scene to describe this was here where, you know, he's playing with these little toys and we fucking tell him to fuck off, basically. Just, yeah, real frustration at his genius. Himura is similar. The small parts that we do get there, it seems that a lot of his motive was I'm not good enough compared to Tokita as well, even if Tokita doesn't see it from that direction. And yeah, I mean, I wrote Atsuko and Tokita. Atsuko and Paprika is the same thing. Like, I'm frustrated at how brilliant the dream me is sometimes at doing all of this stuff. And I wish that I could become the dream me in real life. I think this spins off into this point quite nicely. A feminist analysis of the whole Paprika Atsuko dynamic probably called for, especially in the internet age. Like, why does Atsuko feel like it's unacceptable for her to be herself and has this repressed desire, or repression overall, to be this manic pixie dream girl type person that's all things to everybody, openly romantic, openly sexual, helping everybody out, putting on all these different, like, I don't know. It feels like if the internet was around in the same way that it is now during this time, Paprika would almost be this online personality that Atsuko has to put on airs about. Like, this is who I want to be perceived as by everybody else within this collective dream that is the internet, even if it's not who I truly feel like I am in the day-to-day. And again, something brought on by the patriarchy, something. We should probably not do that and allow women to be a bit more, I don't know, just normal about things. Definitely all involved there. It's no accident that Seijiro Inui is a fucking bald 50-something man as well. Like, you know how these things go. Now, Oedipus and the Sphinx, which is what we're referencing in the piece of art here with Osanai. Now, whenever we say Oedipus, we have to consider Oedipus complex, at least a little bit. So, you know, I definitely know that Himuro had some, like, mommy issues, probably. The whole doll thing, you could probably infer as such. It's probably not a stretch to talk that he likes the Atsuko because it reminds him of, like, a motherly figure more than, you know, a Paprika. Yes, maybe stretching there. Anyway, Oedipus and the Sphinx here specifically is more to Osanai's complex, right? He doesn't feel like he's brilliant enough. Oedipus and the Sphinx is where Oedipus defeats the Sphinx by winning a game of wits. It's a game of riddles, essentially. So in his own dream here, he's casting himself as somebody that's brilliant, that overcame the odds through their own ingenuity. It's basically somebody that he wishes he could be in real life. And in that process, also defeating Paprika, who's I've associated with Tokita a lot. Like, it's basically his fucking fantasy that's occurring right now. And yeah, you're talking to the underlying factor here. Oedipus is a perfect look for a man completely controlled by the chairman. I don't know, I thought that upon doing the research on the whole Oedipus and the Sphinx thing, I thought that it fit very well for Osanai. So it was a great touch. Just a overall conversation, I've already kind of talked about it. This scene where we catch her and there's the butterflies and there's the peeling back of the skin and the everything. There's a real sense of comeuppance when, you know, your body is invaded by another person, by Seijiro and Nui coming through here and taking control when you've just spent this scene invading somebody else's body as well. Once again, no accident that he goes for the crotch and then reaches up through the midsection and, you know, over the breast and up through the... Anyway, there's a sexual bend to it. It's meant to feel like assault. It feels like assault. Fucking, it's not even the worst thing Con's ever done in that regard. The one in Perfect Blue is nightmare-inducing. It's terrible. So yeah, he doesn't pull punches is my point. The whole butterfly conceit of it all, we've pinned them down. There's like a scientific bend to it. We want to put them on display as well. Like, I don't love you for you. I almost want to control you and frame you and put you up someplace as a piece of art as opposed to an actual human being. Is there all objectification there? There's a dissection element to it as well. Like, we're like dissecting her body insofar as dissecting her psyche as well and getting to what really lies beneath it all. There's a real creepiness of me wanting to see the real her and not wanting to see Paprika that makes it a whole lot more personal too. And yeah, it blends perfectly with the whole Konakawa thing when he comes in and saves the day and saves the damsel and is the stereotypical hero. It's wonderful. Unless you have your cake and eat it too. We get a stereotypical ending like that, but then we have the actual ending where Atsuko Paprika has a lot of, you know, agency in what's going on and actually controls where things go. It doesn't feel like she's a passenger for it. It feels like she hasn't been objectified. It's another really good kind of element. We get to feel good here, right, when we save the day, but then we get to feel even better later on when she saves the day on her own terms. There's another thing just in general, like a combination of all different people to defeat evil at the end. Like Tokita literally mixes with Paprika and Atsuko, a little bit of spice on top of everything, just the variety. Sometimes you need to embrace that side. Obviously, again, Shima on the sidelines there too, doing some work. Konakawa assisting also. Just, yeah, I thought it was astute that all of these various personalities combined to save the day. I felt like that told me something about what, like, the film recommends, what it morally stands for. And faith in the next generation too. Again, like a man, woman combined, create child, child destroys the fucking evil guy. Embrace that humans on a level divorced from all of this could see that something's wrong and needs to change. And I mean, we've talked about a lot of these already as well. Dolls, Himuro, repressed childhood stuff. He's probably why he wants to go back to the fair and carnival a lot. We definitely have like a clown aesthetic to it all as well at the very beginning. Overall, this parade as well, it's all this kind of like escapism bend, I think. Butterflies for change, metamorphosis, kind of disappearing into a million different blue butterflies as well. Maybe even some a butterfly effect to it as well. It's probably another lens by which to look at it through. And I've touched on falling already as well. Just a kind of stalwart of dreams and dreamlike stories. You feel like you're falling through the air and need someone to catch you. And you know, it's like, I've definitely had them before, those dreams where you like finish and you like catch your breath. You're like, oh shit. Yeah, just really nailing that kind of dream aesthetic too. Next up, some of the art, character designs. They look like Satoshi Kon movie character designs. Paprika is iconic. There's a reason why a lot of people have her as a profile picture. She's very good looking. It's the hair too. The hair's killer. It's very good. Just, yeah, aesthetics, a 10 out of 10 on this whole fucking experience, man. Just, oh my god, oh my god. Good movie, man. Yeah, so they hold up their end of the bargain, get very expressive too, especially Tokita. Once again, his character design really stands out as a point of difference. Got some genuine chuckles from the character animation and the, you know, overly exaggerated expressions and whatnot. It was a really nice surprise. Backgrounds are very detailed. I kind of went into this scene earlier where we're kind of invading Himuro's stupid room or whatever. If my computer wants to behave, that'd be nice too. Yeah, like this kind of stuff. You wouldn't pick up on like plot things about Himuro if you didn't really pay attention to his room and, you know, all this stuff. It's great. Doubly so for a lot of our locations. I feel like Radio Club JP is really iconic as well. Just some nice texturing and layering there too. Good lighting, good art, good colors. And yeah, in the extended sequence that feels like it goes on for like almost a good half hour there where we're just kind of in the dream. Lots and lots of good stuff. Just good art overall. from the darkness into the light, contrast. End of the film blends real-life backgrounds, adding to this fiction reality, dream awake motif that we've been going into, literally breaking down the fourth wall as a barrier. Thought that was a really nice touch. Even a lot of this stuff, like movement in the background-wise, is really good. Look at the parade kind of just going nuts there, as we have animation on top of it. Just really, really nice layering there. And just really creative stuff overall, integrating the TV into it as well, like people on TV starting to go crazy, influenced by the parade overall, people just coming in and joining, transforming, becoming different versions, scary versions of themselves. Definitely a lot of social commentary there. Wow, very cool. I don't know, that whole fucking fever dream end sequence is rife with that kind of stuff. It's great. Kind of touched on it there before, but some notable color work between, you know, dreams and reality really helps to differentiate the two, which is useful. Like we're very flat white light a lot here. Feels almost like we're in a hospital, and it feels like real life, feels like a procedural. And even here, it almost feels more, you know, like face lit up by the screen in the dark, trying to figure things out before whenever you go back into these dreams, it's a little bit more elevated. Another really great example is when we're drifting through all the different kind of filmic things. We change our lighting basically every time, which is another really nice look. And yeah, it kind of culminates in the end when the dreams are into reality. It's almost like this reality lighting with dream stuff happening. It feels really off kilter and weird, just set up payoff from early in the film. And yeah, I don't know how else to quantify it. Kind of spoken about this already as well, but this film just understands dreams. Dreams are fucking weird. There's heaps of weird shit going on, heaps of unexplainable weird shit going on. But as with all great dreams, you can take your time and you can analyze them if you want to. You can figure it all out. But yes, mostly just surreal. Just great use of surrealism. One of the best surrealist anime films, you would say. Even that classic symbol there, that pink elephant. Lovely touch. If they're doing that for the reason I think they're doing it, it's wonderful. Animation overall, less to say here on the animation and the music, I feel. But character animation's on point. Showed some faces there before. Expressive. There's some number of really good like run cycle stuffs. Like if you love watching people just move, it's some good gear. There's a particular scene that I can't find now where Atsuko is lagging it. Anyway, I thought her run cycle mirrored Paprika's a lot, which it felt like this moment of her like embracing that and wanting to be the hero a little bit more. I thought that was a great example there. Animation wise as well, we pretty consistently have this effect of us like stepping on reality and falling through it. I feel like it's pretty well done every single time we see it. Like this is a good example here of why were they sleeping together? Anyway. Yeah, see how it like kind of bends to it. It's pretty impressive. I don't feel like there's any notable jank there. It looks all very smooth. And yeah, a lot in the way people are animated. Paprika, breezy, light, jumping everywhere. Compare that to Atsuko, who's a little bit more, you know, straight-laced and whatnot. You have, you know, Tokito wobbles around a little bit. Seijiro Inui, which I probably should have talked about, his whole, like, being in a wheelchair thing as well. And, you know, him seeing this whole dream world stuff as an escape from that and a way to almost rectify a wrong. Like, that's definitely built up in a lot of it. I don't know, maybe that's tying into the tree stuff more so than I thought. Anyway, notably he is standing up and moving in the dream world, probably something that he would like to do and why he would like to monopolize it. But anyway, through a lot of the rest of the runtime, when he's in the wheelchair, he's very stiff, which, you know, not everybody's animated the same way. It's good. The scene in the butterfly room, downright disgusting, but very well animated. Once again, I feel like this is well-trodden ground here at this point, but like everything that happens here is craziness. Even, you know, Konakawa coming through the curtains there and saving the day. Even that looks kind of fucking gross. Anyway, man. Good scene. Just, lots of weird shit going on. And yeah, I thought I'd mention it here. Use of repeated animation. Good rule of three stuff. So the parade scene, whenever it shows up, you create this association with this kind of unstoppable, unwieldy thing that's just going to keep going. It's a musical association too, which is great. And it just kind of builds and builds. It feels like this real kind of climactic thing by the very end of the film, which is wonderful. It's just little reminder. There's a good flex in the animation there. I feel like the whole Konakawa catching the killer sequence, it's a lot of alliteration there. It repeated 3 times as well, and I felt like that built its meaning to when we actually felt it felt like we learnt what it all meant. So it's here, and then it's here where Paprika's fucking talking with him. Yeah, that sequence, and then it's the final one there where he saves the day. You know, it's all you know, we solve it by the third time. It's a great sense of satisfaction. Music. No, running out of time here a little bit, but fantastic across the board. Don't have much else to say about it. Beyond that, I didn't notice it, which is probably more of a, you know, more of a compliment than I realized. Parade scenes accompanying music is its overall, like, what I'll remember from the music of this film are those scenes and the accompanying song and the opening credits song and kind of a lot of vocal chops in there. That's a interesting kind of aesthetic to it. But beyond that, just good. Suspenseful when it needs to be suspenseful, and calm when it needs to be calm. Good stuff. I probably prefer Millennium Actress's soundtrack, which I remember liking quite a bit. Criticisms. Dialogue gets a little bit on the clunky side sometimes. Osanai and Seijiro Inui, biggest culprits. The example scene I think about is here in the car, where I feel like maybe he's just a little bit too direct about things. He's like, you know, I do feel powerless sometimes. It's like, well, can we display that a better way through dialogue? Maybe. Feels like Seijiro Inui sometimes when he's like calling us out is just like saying the themes at us a little bit. I wouldn't call either character there particularly subtle. However, they both still caught me off guard. So they must have been doing something right. Like this is just like villain speak and he's just saying villain stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Felt like bit defter there, potentially. Dialogue overall can tend to get a little bit techno-babbly, and I feel like it's unneeded. I don't feel like we need to understand how the DC Mini connects everything on a technical level. I felt like being that one stereotypical guy in the movie that says, yeah, in English, doc, like to a lot of these people. Like, say it in a way I can understand. And mostly just, I don't feel like the sci-fi of it all is necessary. I don't feel like I need to understand how the dream machine works. It's just that there's a dream machine. If anything, it just adds to the whole confusion, because I'm like, do I need to remember this stuff? That, as well as, I think I write about it here as well, scenes where they're speaking nonsense, they're an absolute nightmare for a subtitle user, because I'm like, am I having a stroke? Obviously working a lot better if you understand Japanese, obviously, not the film's fault, but another thing which I was like, whoa, just taken a little bit aback by. And once again, not the film's fault here as well, but just took me a little bit of time to fully understand what even was going on. Once I did, it kind of all fell into place and the themes all started working a lot for me, so good in that regard. Overall thoughts. Love how optimistic the film feels, striking a balance between being cautious, not naive, but ultimately landing on the side of good, of approval. Like, hey, the dream machine, technology, the future, how it perceived, all these other themes in the film, right? These walls are being torn down. That's, you know, scary. There's definitely warnings. It can definitely go bad. It can definitely go bad. But, you know, it's still worth doing. You shouldn't be, what's the word? You shouldn't be stagnant. And if we embrace it with, like, hope in our hearts, I feel like we can make something of this all. That's what I'm walking away from this thing feeling, and it's a really good feeling. I'd love to watch it again. I'd love to have time to watch it again. I feel like that'd be great. Feels like a film you just get more and more out of each time you watch it. Just hidden details, hidden meanings, you know, double meanings, sure, the comments will comment all the stuff I missed that I'll obviously see on rewatches. Just it's density, which is nothing but a compliment. I don't think there's much else like it either. Just especially in recent times. Like, what is the last like theatrical anime film that was even close to this ambitious? Maybe that's an indictment on the industry overall, but even then, if you're being compared to Satoshi Kon at all, you might be doing something right. If I had to say something, maybe like Revue Starlight, it was getting towards that area. It's definitely, you know, artsy enough. You can perceive things. It's good. I don't know, it feels like we're getting a lot of Your Name 2s, where maybe we just need to switch it up a little bit sometimes. And yeah, it sucks that this is the last thing Kon ever made theatrically. Feel him missing still. Once again, I don't feel like there's a Satoshi Kon next up kind of guy that's killing it at the moment. Maybe I need to be reminded, I don't know. But yeah, sucks that he died. Which, you know, sucks that anybody dies, really. But especially this guy, he makes really good anime. Keep your eyes peeled. Potentially around Christmas time, may have some Tokyo Godfathers to complete the 4 theatrical films there. Also, would love to watch Paranoia Agent one day. Obviously, that's, you know, based on polls and whatever else, whatever people want to, bring with it. But yeah, I'd love to watch all the stuff made by this guy because he's very good. And I think that's about it. I think so. We'll wrap it up there. Yeah, next week. Well, next week depends on when you're watching this. There'll maybe be a break. Maybe there'll be something. There'll be one more movie. And then I'll react to something else. It'll be something. I don't know what it'll be. But yeah, I'm maybe skipping a week. I'm maybe not skipping a week depending on when you're watching this. Cool? Cool. Patreon if you want to be on top of all of that. Discord if you wanted to, get the latest updates and all that other kind of stuff. Like the video, subscribe. Shout out to Paprika, man. Good movie. Confusing as fuck, but good movie. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Ciao.